This is the message I want to talk to you guys about. I'm not out here because I want to be out here, okay? I am cold. But I made a promise to myself that today was going to be the day that I take my power back, right? I love running. I love nature. I love being out on the trails. Obviously, it's snow, so I can't go too far. But I told myself today was the day that I take my power back no matter what the weather was, no matter what inconvenience showed up. Because I know this is true. Inconvenience oftentimes makes us turn our back on the promises that we made to ourselves. And listen, like I want you to think about that right now. How far would you be if you actually kept the promises that you made to yourself? How far would you be in your journey? How far would you be in life? Because oftentimes inconvenience is going to show up. That's facts. Whether inconvenience is the weather, whether it's people walking out of your life, whether it's failure, whether it's some obstacle, whether it's some challenge, it's going to show up. My question to you, are you going to keep showing up no matter what shows up against you? Some of us, we retreat way too easily. And I had to have this conversation with myself. I didn't want to be out here. It's cold. But I knew I had to be out here if I wanted to take my power back. Because some of us, we keep the power in the things that are breaking us, in the things that are holding us back, in people, in our past. We keep the power in that. And you know why we keep it in that? Because we never stand our ground. People walk out of our life and we just allow them to keep the power in our life by worrying about them. How you take your power back is you stand your ground. You show yourself that you can survive. You show yourself that you can move forward. You show yourself that you can do it. You show yourself that you can climb. You show yourself that you can progress. You show yourself that you can grow. That's how you take your power back. And once you take your power back and you stand your ground against the things that's trying to make you feel powerless, against the things that have so much power in your life, you know what happens? Those things start to lose power over you. Those things that have so much power over you start to become powerless because you stood your ground, because you kept the promises that you made to yourself. And I want to come on here not to impress you. Oh, Trent's running out in the cold. Man, it's cold. I'm not coming out here to impress you. I'm doing this for me because I know if I can go do this in the worst conditions in history in Texas, and I hate the cold, if I can do this in the worst conditions, just imagine how much leverage, how much confidence that puts in my heart. Just imagine. So every time a thought comes up that I can't do it, I can come back to this time and show myself, man, you ran when it was snowing, the streets were shut down, you came out here and you did it. What can't you do? But a lot of us, we retreat way too easy. We turn our back on the promises that we made to ourselves. Some of us right now, and I'm not trying to be insensitive because I love you, but some of us, we already turned our back on the promises that we made to ourselves in January. We already did that. And I understand because I did that a few times in my life. But I said no more. It's time to take the power back. So when somebody's walked out of your life, if somebody has hurt you, if your health is whatever is in a bad place, it's time for you to take your power back. Show yourself by keeping the promises that you made to yourself. And I'm yelling out here. I'm probably going to get in trouble because people probably come out here like, this guy, who's this madman out here? But I'm passionate about this. I'm passionate about it. All right? So if you're going to keep the promises that you made to yourself, I want you to write it down. A rare breed is a person that reaches inside their soul and they bring that greatest you. I want you to meet the greatest you. I don't want you to live your whole life living a settled version of you, right? Living an average version of you. And it don't mean you have to come out here and do crap like this. But for me, I needed this for my soul. I needed this for my mindset because I needed to take the power back in certain situations in my life. And you do too. Stop giving the power to the things that don't need to have power you anymore. Stop giving your power to external things, to people, and give the power back to yourself. And you give the power back to yourself by keeping the promises that you make to yourself and by standing your ground. It's by moving forward even when you feel like you can't move forward, and stop retreating on things. Some of us, we're attacking the same problems for the 30th time because we keep retreating when it gets hard. Inconvenience exposes commitment. Struggle exposes commitment. Hard times exposes commitment. Bad people walking out your life exposes commitment. People not supporting you exposes commitment. Health exposes commitment. Conditions exposes commitment. When it gets real, you're going to see if it's real for you. When it gets real, you're going to see if it's real for you. And I'm not running the best time of my life. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm out of shape. So what I'm out here doing is that I'm doing the best I can do. But I know this is the first step in me becoming the greatest version of myself. I battled depression for the last 2 months, being transparent with you. And I could have allowed those situations in my life to have the power and stay there, or I could do something about it. And I refuse to waste the rest of my life just watching other people, just watching other things, just allowing my life to be wasted. There's millions of people that went to the grave with a wasted life. And that can't be you. And ain't nobody out here. That's how I know I'm in the best place. Ain't nobody out here, but I'm out here because I got a different mission, a different vision for my life. So what's it going to be, y'all? What's it going to be? What's going to be the thing that keeps you keeping the promises that you make to yourself? It has to be something deep. You know, for me, I'm not even going to share it on here right now, but for me, it's deep enough that I will come out in freezing degree weather and get my run in. That I will come out in freezing degree weather and say, you know what? You had this marked on the calendar that this was the day that you start your journey. And it had me come out here no matter what. It had me stand my ground. It's time for you to stand your ground. It's time for you to keep the promises that you make to yourself. We're dealing with the worst time in Texas ever. I'm going to say ever, but lost electricity, no water, all of these things, right, that are going on right now that my family's experiencing, so many people across America are experiencing. But I choose to still show up regardless because that's the only option, man. Surrender is not an option. Stand your ground. Now I got to drive back to the house. I ran out this far. It's only one way back, right? It's only one way back out here in the cold. But I promise you, this is building possibility in my heart. So I know if I can do it in the worst conditions, I know I can be committed in any other condition. All right, I'm taking the power back over my life. It is time for you to take the power back. But Trent, you don't understand. Forget the buts. Take the power back over your life. And how you take that power back is you prove to yourself that you can survive. You prove to yourself that you can move forward. And my friend, you have survived 1,000 things that you already been through. You're 100% of your survival rate. You're 100% of your survival rate. Give yourself some credit. You are more powerful than what you think. Right? He is in you is more powerful than he is in the world. Okay? You are more powerful than what you think. Start operating like that. Start operating like that. Stop allowing things that ain't meant for your life to keep your life in a place that it don't need to be anymore. Stop giving power to those things that don't need to have power over you anymore. You are powerful, my friend. Let's get it.